Yo, what you lot saying? This is your boy here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 2015 MotoGP British Grand Prix for you guys. Now, apologies if I'm a little bit late to the party. I'm sorry about that. I missed the race, unfortunately. But thankfully there was highlights of the race later on that I could watch. So yeah, I watched that, including qualifying as well. Qualifying missed it on the Saturday, but I was able to watch it today. So yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to be reviewing this race. Let's get down to it, and we'll start off in qualifying. Now in Q1, nothing much really happened. I mean, the two Suzuki's putting in quick times and going 1 and 2, and really putting themselves in a good position, going into Q2. But on their second run, they did not go out for their second run. They decided to stay in the garage and save their tyres for Q2, which I thought was very, very risky and very, very dangerous, because what if, you know, the likes of Petrucci or Hernandez, two of the Pramacs, pip the Suzukis on their last run. I mean, that could be a major disappointment. I mean, we could be seeing something on the lines of Marquez and Mugello when he got pushed out of qualifying 1 due to Hernandez's lap. So very, very risky, I would say, but that risk kind of paid off. But for one of them, it paid off. Alicia Spargaro was able to stay in second place. Hernandez was fastest in the on his last lap. And as a result, Vinales, who was second and he was due to move into Q2, got bumped out of Q2, got bumped out of Q1 and starting 13th. So a very, very disappointing moment for him there. You know, the guy who looked like really set for Q2 got bumped out only by fractions of a second, to be honest. I mean, had he beaten Alicia Spargaro, Alicia would have been out and Vinales would have been in. So yeah, just so unfortunate, but that's the nature of racing. Yeah, so moving into Q2, Q2 was very hectic, a lot of people going out on track, and Scott Redding, who got into Q2, got a tow on Marc Marquez, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him. He could not do anything about that. He could not do anything with it. So yeah, unfortunate for him. But for Marquez, it was no trouble whatsoever. He went fastest with a 2:05 lap, blitzing the qualifying lap record by a few tenths of a second. So yeah, a great lap by Marquez there. Pedrosa, Lorenzo and Rossi got close, but they couldn't beat him. They were beaten by 2 tenths of a second. So yeah. So moving into the second run, Marquez went again and absolutely just, you know, it was an amazing lap, I would say. He improved it by a couple of tenths and almost broke out of the 2-minute barrier. The first time that a bike would have ever done, to be honest. You know, no bike has ever gone faster than 2. No bike has ever gone into the under the 2 minutes. So yeah. But unfortunately, that wouldn't be the day, because yeah, Marquez was only a few tenths shy of that. So yeah, I think maybe next year or the year after we could see that being blitzed. We could see someone getting into under the 2 minute there. So yeah. Rossi came forth, good ride by him, the championship leader. Third, I believe, no, third was Pedrosa, good lap by him, and second was Jorge Lorenzo. So yeah, and yeah, that's about it. That's all I know from. That's all I know. I know the top 4 qualifying positions. So yeah. So moving into the race, it was very, very. It was a wet race. Basically, before the race, rain started coming down, and as they were coming in onto the end of their warm-up lap, all went into the pit lane to change to the wet tyres. And as a result, because everyone was in the pits, they red flagged the session and restarted the race because of that. Because the FIM wanted to get a proper start rather than just get a pit lane start. So yeah, I think that's the right decision to do. Don't even bother getting a pit lane start, you know, let's just get a proper race start, you know. Everyone's going to be on the right tyres now, why not? I mean, I think honestly they should have not done the grid walk again, because that's what they did afterwards. They went back onto the grid, did their grid walk, and then afterwards the race got underway. I think they should have just got back out of the pit lane when the green flag was out, and then got to the grid and then started the race from there. So yeah, there was a grid walk for a little bit, and then afterwards the race got underway in very treacherous conditions. I think Rossi got to second, so yeah, good start from Rossi there. Jorge Lorenzo with the third place there, Pedrosa fourth behind, and then we saw an accident, and that was Yoni Hernandez getting tangled up with someone. That sent him off coming out of Cop's corner, so unfortunate for him there. And as the race continued on, so many riders trying to find that grip to get more speed and to overtake a couple of people through the field. So yeah, we saw an accident going on the first few laps, and that was the two LCR Hondas colliding against one another and putting themselves out of the race, going into the club corner. I think honestly, it was Jack's fault, to be honest. I think Jack was way too far back to make a move on Cal Crutchlow there. I mean, he should have just held it back and taken the line, but he decided to be a bit aggressive and put his bike on the side of Cal Crutchlow to the point that they would fall off and take both each other out. So not very good for the LCR Hondas. I mean, oh wow, I mean, I feel massively sorry for Cal Crutchlow, to be honest, because he did so well. He started from 7th, then was up to 3rd at one point, and to be taken out like that in his home Grand Prix, massive shame for him there, a real massive shame. And then later on we saw some bit of dramas going on for Paul Espargaro as he cutted the loop section to get back on the track. I think he made a mistake going into coming out of Village, which made him cut the loop section. So yeah. So but he dropped, I think, well back. He dropped to like 11th or 12th. So yeah. Then we saw a battle between Marc Marquez and Valentino Rossi, both of them going at it. Marquez wasn't really, Marquez really didn't have, oh by the way, Rossi did get by Marquez. He did it, I think in Village, I believe, so yeah, good move. It was a good move, a very, very clean pass on Marquez, and then afterwards Marquez really was hanging on, but didn't have really enough to pull a move back on Rossi to retake the lead. So yeah, it was really it was really Marquez hanging on, gluing to the back of Rossi's bike there. So yeah. Also, we saw the Ducatis really coming on strong, particularly from Petrucci and Dovizioso. Both of them really coming on strong, and as a result, they closed up to the back of Lorenzo and Pedrosa, who were running 3rd and 4th. And yeah, Petrucci and Dovizioso got by both Lorenzo and Pedrosa to take 2nd and 3rd off them. So that meant that Lorenzo was 4th and Pedrosa was 5th. So I don't know, to be honest, what was going on with Lorenzo. I think it may have been the setup that he'd been running on. Same, I think, was well to Pedrosa, because in qualifying they were right up there with they were right up there with Marquez there. So to be dropping back hugely could be signs of setup issues. So yeah, I think and I'm not really surprised if that's the case, to be honest, because, you know, out of the blue, we were all expecting this to be a dry race, but now it's turned to a wet race. Everyone has to change their bikes. It's quite frantic. It's quite chaotic and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, not really surprised if a few bikes got their setup a bit wrong. So yeah. So and then later on, we saw an accident, and that was for Paul Espargaro. His day got worse as he fell off his bike going into maggots and was out of the race. So yeah, unfortunate for him. Cal Crutchlow, by the way, I know I said he was out. He continued on for a few laps and then fell off his bike coming into the same corner as well. So yeah, and that put him out of the race. So yeah, unfortunate for him. And then with about 8 laps remaining, Marc Marquez loses the front of his bike and falls off coming out of Copse Corner, battling really hard with Rossi for the lead of the race. He falls off his bike, and that is the end of his race. Real drama, high drama for him. He had done so well to hang on with Rossi. I felt like there was one more big attack that Marquez was planning on in the dying moments of the race, but his final push, or his final big plan, had been ruined thanks to that fall from him coming out of Copse Corner there. So yeah, and as a result, that put Pedrosa and Dovizioso up into second and third. So a great ride from both of them, moving themselves up into a great second and third, particularly for Petrucci. You know, his highest position, it could have been his potential highest finishing position, which would have been an amazing achievement for him, an amazing achievement for Pramac as well, for that matter. So yeah, but it wasn't over yet. There was a few more laps to go, and really as well, and also Petrucci, continuing with him, he closed the gap to Rossi. So at that point I was thinking, oh, is Petrucci gonna win this race? Are we gonna see Petrucci beat Rossi to his first win? I mean, that would have been insane. Petrucci getting his first win in that kind of way, it would have been awesome. So that was what he was doing. He was closing the gap to Rossi. It went down to as low as 9/10, but then Rossi responded and pulled the gap up back to 2 seconds. So really, I think after that it was really Rossi's race. So yeah, and that was the case. Rossi coming across the line to take the win from Petrucci, who took his best results in MotoGP so far with the 2nd place. Third was Dovizioso, a great ride by him there, scoring some good points for the Ducati team. 4th was Pedrosa. Oh yeah, by the way, Pedrosa did get ahead of Lorenzo at the dying moments of the race. So yeah, Pedrosa got 4th, Lorenzo 5th. Unfortunate for him, that really hurt him in his championship challenges. So yeah, 6th was Redding. Good ride by him, a great ride by him, to be honest. So yeah, 8th was Bradley Smith. So 2 Brits in the top 10 there, that's good. And that's about it. So yeah, a very, very chaotic race, and a very, very deserved victor of this race in the form of Valentino Rossi. He rode beautifully today, no mistakes whatsoever. Was able to keep the was able to absorb the pressure by Marc Marquez behind him there. So yeah, and also from Petrucci as well in the dying moments of the race. So yeah, so that's the 2015 British Grand Prix review for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then hit the like button below. Also as well too, I created a vlog which I recorded on Friday. That's coming out along with this. So yeah, if it's out, go check that out. Please give it a like, and yeah, give this as a like as well. Subscribe if you're new, and yeah, I'll see you next time. It's your boy, I am out.